Hello everybody and welcome back to Team Memes Not Meta. We're here today with another deck profile. I'm of course Andrew here with team member Aidan, and I think we have something very, very special to show you today. We've been working on this deck for a couple months, trying to make it the best it possibly can be, and we've covered a lot of decks that could be considered meme decks here on the channel, but Aidan, I would say none are as meme-worthy as what we're about to showcase today. Is that right?
Oh, this is the culmination of our work right here.
This is the culmination of the Memes Not Meta mission, trying to take down the meta with memes. And with that said, without further ado, I'd like to present to you the Team Memes Not Meta Jackpot 7 OTK deck profile. I'm very, very excited to showcase to everyone today what we've come up with. The profile here obviously is just me and Aidan, but I do want to give a shout out to team member Brian. Did a lot of the testing and a lot of the handwork on trying to make this as good as possible, as well as everyone around the team. We really worked to try to make this a special deck. And full disclaimer, this is a meme deck. You will lose most of the games you play with this deck, but the very few that you do win, it's quite a thing of beauty, isn't that right?
Oh yeah, it's a great feeling.
It's a great feeling. If you're not aware, Jackpot 7 is one of the win condition cards in Yugioh, where if all three of them are sent to the grave by your opponent's card effect, you win the duel. And it's a quite unique one, and there's a couple cards that have existed over the 20 plus years of Yu-Gi-Oh! That help us achieve that desired effect of your opponent sending your own spell card, Jackpot 7, to the graveyard. And we're going to walk you through what we think to be the most consistent and effective way to do that throughout any of the deck profiles we've seen on YouTube or anywhere on the internet. So let's get right into it. Now, as I said, Jackpot 7 has to do with getting your own spell card, Jackpot 7, into the grave by your opponent's card effect. And the way we do that, and the backbone of this deck, is a card known as Dark Scorpion Burglars. Now, Dark Scorpion Burglars has an effect where when it inflicts battle damage to your opponent sends one spell card from their deck to the graveyard. So you can see the synergy this has. We need to find a way to give this to our opponent and then attack into it so that we can send our Jackpot 7s from our deck to the graveyard and then win the duel. If you get one of these on the field, give it to your opponent and can attack into it, you can pretty much win instantly. So the entire deck's going to be revolving around getting this on the field and over to your opponent's side of the field. So, how do we get it out? The first way, and one of the more consistent ways, of course, is Summoner Monk. And Summoner Monk, of course, just get them out, discard a spell, and you can summon a Dark Scorpion Burglars right from the deck, because it is a level 4. However, there's only 3 of them in the deck, and we needed a little bit more consistent way to do it, and shout out to Brian here for suggesting this engine, and that's actually the Neo Space engine that leads into an Isolde engine. And the goal here is you will summon one of your Neo Space connectors. His effect summons Neo Space and Aqua Dolphin. You can link them off into Isolde. I will show you the entire combo later in the video. It's not that complicated, but this is one of the more consistent ways that we actually get into our Dark Scorpion Burglars. A quick note, Neo Space and Aqua Dolphin actually has a very cool secondary effect. If you're not aware, he can look at your opponent's hand and it allows you to destroy a card there if it meets certain criteria. This is really good for getting rid of hand traps in your opponent's hand. One of the things that absolutely, cripples this deck when you're playing against them. The last monster is a 1-of Performer Pal Hippo. You have to play the ultra rare. It's absolutely required. I believe it is 10 cents versus the regular 2 cents, so go ahead and get that. And I'll show you a little bit later in the video why we need this 1-of here. It's part of another card. On to the spells. I mean, guys, it's a Jackpot 7 deck, so we got to play 3 Jackpot 7. And if you're not aware, like I said, when this card is sent to the graveyard by your opponent's card effect, it banishes itself, and if all 3 are banished by that effect, you win the duel. Something else you need to know, if you draw one of these, it's not good. You don't want to do that, but it has an effect where you can go -1 by activating it and shuffling it into your deck. So before you do your combo, to go ahead and turbo out a Dark Scorpion Burglar and win the duel, if you have this in your hand, activate it immediately so you can shuffle it back in your deck, because Aidan, I think it's fair to say we've had a couple times where we've tested, and at the very end we realized we forgot to activate our Jackpot 7. And that's rather unfortunate, wouldn't you say?
Very true, very true.
Now on to the next spell, we have Creature Swap. Like we said, the goal is to get that Dark Scorpion Burglars over to your opponent's side of the field. This is one of your best ways to do it. Both players select one monster from their sides of the field, and they switch control. And They cannot change their battle position. This is a card that when you activate it and you're playing at locals, a lot of people are going to be like, yo, wait, what? What is this? That's really cool because it is, correct me if I'm wrong, non-targeting. You don't target one of your opponent's monsters, you target one of your own. So it's very, very cool. Also a way to stall if you can't win first turn. Normally if you can't win first turn, you're just going to lose, but if you can creature swap and give yourself a ridiculous monster that your opponent has, hey, sometimes you never know.
It works.
It does. It works. It really does. More switching cards here. We have 3 copies of Sheehan Spy. Now this one is select one face-up monster on your side of the field to activate the effect, and then until the end phase of the turn, you switch control of the selected monster of your opponent. So this just selects your Dark Scorpion and gives it to your opponent. You don't both swap monsters. Just another way to switch out. And we have one more switch card, one of Mystic Box.
The secret tech.
The secret tech. Now, this is probably the worst switch card, but it has a cool effect. You do have to target an opponent's monster to activate this, but you do that, target one of your own, and then it destroys the first one, which is your opponent's monster, and gives your opponent the second one. So it's a cool little thing that every once in a while can get rid of a opponent's monster while also giving them Dark Scorpion. Now, the next part, of course, of the spells is finding a way to get things on the field that we can ram in to the Dark Scorpion Burglars once we give it to our opponent. And that's where the Hippo Carnival package comes in. Hippo Carnival special summons Hippo tokens, which are level 1 with attack 0 and defense 0. And you basically use those tokens to go ahead and just slam into the Dark Scorpion Burglars 3 times and win the duel. This is really cool that we're doing this with, that you can win with this with the tokens and attack into them. It actually has really good synergy with another card that we're going to showcase later in the profile. And just to go along with that, we're playing even more token getting cards, Super Hippo Carnival, which is the steroids version of the past one. This one you activate by special summoning one of the Performapal Pal Hippos from your hand or deck, which is why we have the one of, because you need to do that to activate this card. And then you summon as many Hippo tokens as possible. And yeah, it's basically just another way to go ahead and get tons of tokens on the field to ram into Dark Scorpion Burglar. Something to note about those cards, if you're thinking you can do this to accelerate out tokens and then go ahead and get into crazy things like Saryuja to draw, unfortunately you cannot summon monsters from the extra deck while those tokens are on the field.
But you can Super Hippo Carnival pass.
You can, and that is one of the going first plays. Super Hippo Carnival, summon 5 tokens in defense position and pass. And yes, that is very true. Left Arm Offering, 3 copies. Hey, you know what? It's do or die with this deck. You're going to lose on the first turn if you don't get into it anyway, so sometimes you just got to nuke your hand and get that last spell card you need. And Left Arm Offering being printed in a structure deck a couple years ago means this is like a 10-cent card. So very cool. And yeah, it gets you your last piece a lot of the time. A couple one-ups here. Upstart Goblin, just draw a card. Your opponent's life points don't matter, and it helps you get into your pieces more. Reinforcement of the Army, this is a 1-card Dark Scorpion. Activate this, grab Scorpion, summon Scorpion, switch it over. Very good card. Now, the next 3 are the ones I talked about why it's really cool with this Jackpot 7 combo when you're using tokens, and that's Dark Ruler No More. This is the most expensive card in the deck, but we found you needed an extra little bit in order to guarantee that you can win with this deck. With Dark Ruler No More, if you're not aware, you activate it when you go second, you negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent controls, but they cannot be destroyed by battle. That doesn't matter at all, because you can negate all of their board, their entire monster effects, go ahead through your combo, give them Dark Scorpion, attack into them 3 times. It doesn't matter that they can't take damage because you're the one taking damage, and you'll still win by Jackpot 7. This card is what guarantees you to win in the current meta. I shouldn't say guarantee, but it takes your chances from like 1% to like maybe 9 or 10%, I would say.
Wow.
I mean, look, this is a good card.
That's true.
And this spot is very flexible. These 3, another one we tested with, which found a lot of success, is 3 Nibiru. 3 Nibiru is a lot more expensive, obviously, but it does the same basic thing. You're going to be going second, and that can absolutely decimate your opponent's board. And it doesn't matter that you give them the Nibiru Primal token, because, again, you're just going to give them a Dark Scorpion and attack into it. So either 3 Dark Ruler or 3 Nibiru. We like the Dark Ruler, and it's also a little more budget-friendly. I'm not sure if you want to be spending a ton of money on this deck anyway, so that might be the option for you. The last 5 cards are part of the Isolde engine. We play 5 equip spells. If you're not sure what that means, do not fret. We'll be showing that off in a little bit. So just any 5 equip spells will do. We found that these are the 5 most relevant and best. That's Moon Mirror Shield. Divine Sword, Phoenix Blade. Noble Arms, not going to even try to pronounce that. We'll put it in the description so you can search for it. Autonomous Action Unit, and Living Fossil. We play 5 in case we draw 1. If you played 4 and draw 1, the entire combo would be dead, and you just lose. And we'll show you why that is in a second.
And these 5 equip spells are interchangeable. So, like, you can swip it out. Like, it...
You could legitimately do any 5 equip spells, but if you want to play the best, and I'm using air quotes here, version of the deck, these 5 are technically relevant. You could use all of them in some situation. But yeah, there's not a whole lot of great generic equip spells. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So when it comes to generic ones, these are some of the best. You could throw a different dimensional reincarnation in here. Very cheap card as well. Just generic ones that you could technically use, but probably won't. That's the main deck. Let's move on to the extra deck. And like we said, Isolde. That's the main engine we're using to get out the Dark Scorpion Burglars. Ideally, you would run 3 here. I just don't have a third copy on me right now. You should definitely run 3. There's a lot of space in the extra deck. So the combo, of course, is you summon the 2 Neospatians, you go into Isolde. Isolde has 2 effects. When it's summoned, you can go ahead and grab I don't want to mess this up, a warrior monster. And what you would do is you'd want to activate that effect to grab another Neospatian connector. That is not relevant at all, but sometimes your opponent doesn't know what you're doing, and that'll bait an Ash. And that's huge, because the second effect's the one you need to go off. If they bait the search, or if they Ash the search, that bait is perfect, and you can go ahead and pretty much go on with the rest of your combo. The second one is the one you really are playing this card for, and that is you can send equip spells to the graveyard, as many as you want from, I believe, is 1 to 4, and then you summon a monster from your deck, a warrior monster from your deck that has the same level of the number of equip spells that you sent. So that's why we play 5. That way, if we draw 1, we can summon Isolde, send 4 equip spells, summon Dark Scorpion Burglar directly from the deck. Like I said, definitely want to play 3 here. I just have 2 copies right now. And there's a lot of room in the extra deck, so you can definitely fit a third one in there. The rest of the extra deck, we don't even have 15 here. A lot of this is personal preference, and a lot of it is just stall cards. So you're going to see a pattern with a lot of these, and they're just basically, if we go first, a way to hope we survive. Silent on our Arc, stall. This is one of the best stall cards, Plunder Patrol Ship Moark. Shout out to Brian again for finding this card. This card is really good. It only takes 2 level 4s, so you can do it with a Dark Scorpion and a Summoner Monk. And what it does is, you can, you won't be using the first effect, you're not playing Plunder Patrol cards, but if a Plunder Patrol card would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can detach a material from this instead. So when you have this with 2 materials and just sit it in defense position, it takes, 3 hits essentially to get rid of it finally, not to mention it has 25 defense, which is pretty respectable. We play the Utopia package. Again, it's all personal preference. It's a rank 4 kind of toolbox thing here. Baguska is another one of your best stall cards. Sit on Baguska, hope you don't lose. And we play Abyss Dweller as well. Why not? It's a level 4. Lock out your opponent's graveyard if it's a really graveyard-focused deck. And the rest of the extra deck's really up to you. Any rank 4s you want, any links you think are useful, but those are the ones that are primarily going to be used.
So, let's get your final thoughts on the deck.
Yeah, so final thoughts on the deck. We will show you a quick combo segment, as we said we're going to do in our videos, which we started with our last one, with Aidan's Crusadia. So that'll be after this, but final thoughts on the deck. Look, Jackpot 7 is one of the win conditions in Yu-Gi-Oh! That has, it doesn't get a whole lot of love, and that's because it sucks. It's really bad. But what we tried to do here today is give you the best possible way to play it. Something I will note. If you have the cards already or you want to spend the money, 3 Extravagance is really, really good in this deck because you don't care about the extra deck outside of Isolde. So if you play 3 Isolde and hit an Extravagance and, hope you don't banish at least one of them, that's a free draw too. That's something that's very, very powerful for this deck. Definitely if it was going to be the best version and you could spend any amount of money on it, I would include that. But otherwise, this is as good as it gets. And also, I am proud to say now that we've finished the deck profile, I think it's time to officially make this announcement. We're going to be doing a special event, our first one here on Teams Not Meta, a special vlogged event where all 5 of the team members play Jackpot 7 at a local tournament. And we're very excited to do this. We're still working out the logistics. Our locals has resumed play for a couple weeks now, and we're going to go ahead, take this deck that we showed off today, and play it at a locals tournament. It'll be 3 rounds, and see how well we can actually do, and some of the crazy reactions we get from other opponents and players from playing such a crazy win condition deck. I think that's going to be a lot of fun, Aidan. I think
I'm looking forward to
definitely something to look forward to. Definitely look out for the channel for that. That's going to be early to mid-August that you can expect that video to go up. And we're going to have a lot of fun with that. But with that said, that was the Jackpot 7 deck. If that's all you wanted to see, I hope you enjoyed playing it. Let us know if there's anything else you like about the deck and that you think you could improve in the comments. We're always open to making this the best it possibly can be. And we're going to get into the combos and a couple hands now if you want to stick around for that. A quick note about the side deck. We do not have an official one. We probably will have one as we get closer to the actual tournament where we all play it. But feel free to do any combination of cards you want that give you the best chance of winning going first, because otherwise, if you go first, you're going to lose pretty much 90% of the time. So really good stuff like Solemn Package, There Can Only Be One can really slow down some decks. Artifact Sanctum Package where you lock out their extra deck. All stuff like that. You have 15 open spaces to put as much floodgates and horrible, annoying cards as possible. So whatever you think is best, great opportunity. If you find something that works really well, comment below. We would love to hear it, and we can incorporate it in our vlogging event where we go ahead and play Jackpot 7. All right, so we're going to show you what an ideal hand and combination would look like for the actual the Jackpot 7 deck here. So we're assuming here that we're going second. You always want to go second with this deck, and that this is our hand here. So you can see we have a starter for the combo to get out Dark Scorpion Burglar, which will be Neospace Connector, and we have some bricks here. We have a Performer Pal Hippo, which you don't really want to draw, and one of our equip spells, but we'll show you why that doesn't matter. So with this being our hand, the first thing we would obviously do is activate Dark Ruler No More, negate all their effects. That way we can go ahead and continue with our play. Next, what you want to do here is normal summon Neospace Connector. Connector's effect summons from the deck a Neospatian Aqua Dolphin. Dolphin's effect, like I said, you go ahead and discard a card, look at your opponent's hand, choose a monster. If you have a monster with attack greater than or equal to the attack of the chosen card, destroy it and inflict 500 damage. If not, you take it. You do that to see their hand to make sure they don't have any hand traps, and if they do, you can destroy them. From here, you would go ahead and link 2 into an Isolde. Isolde effect on summon. Activate to search for another connector. So you would go ahead into your deck, search for a connector. Again, this is the one where it does not really matter if it gets ashed. You do this to bait the ash, and hey, even if it doesn't, you get another card in your hand. This is relevant in case you do activate Dolphin's effect to discard a card, because you will run out of cards in your hand to do the combination with the left arm offering if you don't do that. So if you activate Dolphin's effect, you do want to go ahead and grab Neospatian. If you don't think you're going to be able to grab a Neospatian off this, then you don't want to activate Dolphin's effect, because you'll be caught high and dry without enough cards to do it. So effect on summon, you're going to add this to your hand. Now the second effect of Isolde. Send 4 equip spells, so we have them from our deck. Remember, we have the brick in our hand of the 5th. Luckily, we still have 4. So just send any random 4 to the graveyard to go ahead and summon a Dark Scorpion Burglars. I'm just going to put that... I'll put it there for good measure there, pretending that that is the center. Now, we're going to go ahead and look at our hand. We have to figure out we need 2 more things. We need a token. We need tokens on the field, and we need a way to give this to our opponent. So Sheehan Spy, activate. You give this to your opponent. So we're going to go over here. My opponent now controls it. And then we go ahead and see that we have the connector. I'll show you the hand here. Performer Pal Hippo, the equip spell, and the left arm offering. Since we have 2 or more cards in our hand, we can left arm offering, banish our entire hand to search for 1 spell. And of course, that spell would be Hippo Carnival. The last piece you need to the puzzle, you activate Hippo Carnival. You summon out 3 Hippo tokens with 0 attack. So let's just go ahead and pretend that I went out and summoned 3 of these here. They're different sleeves, but that's okay because they're tokens. Enter battle phase. Go ahead with one of the 0 tokens. Attack Dark Scorpion Burglar since your opponent controls it. Take 1,000 damage. You search your deck for a Jackpot 7. Jackpot 7 goes to the graveyard, banished by the effect of Jackpot 7 because it was sent by your opponent's card effect. You do that 2 more times, and you instantly win the duel. So that was Jackpot 7. Hopefully you found that combo tutorial helpful there, and if you have any more questions, please feel free to leave them below. we want to make this as fun as possible. We want people all across the country, all across the world to be playing this Jackpot 7 deck because it is a lot of fun. And we put a lot of heart and soul into this to make it as good as we possibly could. Like I said, look out for our first live vlog event. Excuse me, it's not going to be live, it's just going to be a vlogged event where we go ahead and all take Jackpot 7 to locals, see how well we can do, see if we can win a few games, maybe even some matches. Never even know when it comes to the power of playing memes and not meta. With that said, that's going to wrap up the Jackpot 7 profile. Aidan, thanks so much for being here today.
Of course. I hope you like, comment, subscribe.
Yes.
Hit the notification bell.
Yeah, hit the notification bell. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. We're going to keep you locked and loaded here with as much meme Yu-Gi-Oh content as we can throughout the year. And thanks so much for watching.